हेलो इग्नो पॉइंट, कैसे हैं आप सब? आई होप आप सब अच्छे होंगे। सो वी आर बैक विद अनदर प्रोजेक्ट। इस प्रोजेक्ट को आपको डायरेक्ट प्रिंट आउट निकलवा कर सबमिट करवाना है। इसमें कोई आपको साइनॉप्सिस नहीं बनाना। सो ओके, लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड। सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप्स submitted by name, enrollment number, study center, regional center, under the supervision of submitted to Indira Gandhi National Open University, मैदान गढ़ी, न्यू दिल्ली। आपको आपके रीजनल सेंटर पे जाकर इसे सबमिट करना है। सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप्स सर्टिफिकेट आई मिस्टर मिसेस मिस रोल नंबर certify that the project report dissertation entitled is completed by me and it is an authentic work carried out by me at dash. The matter embodied in this project work has not been submitted earlier for the award of any degree or diploma to the best of my knowledge and belief. फिर सिग्नेचर करना है, डेट, फिर ये सर्टिफाई, फिर इस पर साइन लेना है, आपको एक्नॉलेजमेंट लगाना है। आपको इसके प्रिंट आउट्स निकलवा कर फिर उसके बाद इसे सबमिट करना है। फिर लिस्ट ऑफ टेबल्स, टाइटल पेज, सर्टिफिकेट, एक्नॉलेजमेंट, लिस्ट ऑफ टेबल्स, इंट्रोडक्शन, लिटरेचर ऑफ रिव्यू, रिसर्च मेथोडोलॉजी, फॉर्मेशन एंड डेवलपमेंट ऑफ SHGs, फंक्शनिंग एंड डेवलपमेंट ऑफ SHGs, ग्रोथ ऑफ SHGs इन इंडिया, स्प्रेड ऑफ SHGs, मूवमेंट, परफॉर्मेंस, डिस्कशन, कंक्लूजन, बायोग्राफी, सजेशन, सब निकालना है आपको। चैप्टर 1 इंट्रोडक्शन कि सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप्स क्या होते हैं। आर इनफॉर्मल एसोसिएशन ऑफ पीपल हु चूज टू कम टुगेदर टू फाइंड वे टू इम्प्रूव देयर लिविंग कंडीशंस। इट कैन बी डिफाइंड एज सेल्फ गवर्नड पीयर कंट्रोल इंफॉर्मेशन ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल विद सिमिलर सोशियो इकोनॉमिक background and having a desire to collectively perform common purpose. Villages face numerous problems related to poverty, illiteracy, lack of skills, lack of formal credits, etc. These problems cannot be tackled at an individual level and need collective efforts. Thus, SHG can become a vehicle of change for the poor and marginalized. SHG rely on the notion of self-help to encourage self-employment and poverty alleviations. Self-help groups have emerged as one of the major strategies for women's empowerment, and various schemes of the government of India have shown that strong women's group could contribute substantially to the development and convergence of services and activities. Experience with various programs and projects has highlighted by self-help groups. Different groups in various states all over the country have focused on skill development and awareness generation, promoting economic development through income generating activities, inculcating thrift and credit management activities among poor women. Definition क्या है कि a self-help group is a voluntary association of persons with common interests formed and managed democratically without any political affiliation. The genesis of SHG. For benefits of SHGs, social integrity, gender equity, pressure group, voice to marginalized section, financial inclusion, for improving efficiency of government schemes and reducing corruption through social audits, alternate source of employment, changes in consumption pattern, impact on housing and health, banking literacy. चैप्टर 2 में आपको लिटरेचर और ऑफ रिव्यू लिखना है। रमेश while studying SHGs conclude that members share common perceptions on needs and belong to almost same economic and social status. From inculcating social desirable habit and ethics amongst the member, the 4-in-1 role of SHGs are a money lender and a development bank, a corrective and a voluntary agency. Raj states that the dependence of the rural poor on the non-industrial institutional source of credit like that of the money lender is one of the causes which perpetuates poverty. The SSGs substitute their role. आपको डायरेक्ट इनका प्रिंट्स निकलवा कर सबमिट करना है, साइन लेना है. इंस्टीट्यूशनल लिंकेज ऑफ SHGs. Chapter 3 Research Methodology. Statement of the problem. The problem under investigation is mentioned as self-help groups. Objective of the study. It looks to build the functional capacity of the poor and the marginalized in the field of employment and income generating activities. It resolves conflicts through collective leadership and mutual discussion. It provides collateral free loan with terms decided by the group at the market driven rates. Such group works as a collective guarantee system for members who propose to borrow from organized sources. The poor collect their savings and save it in banks. In return, they receive easy access to loans with a small rate of interest to start their micro-unit enterprise. Consequently, self-help groups have emerged as the most effective mechanism for delivery of microfinance service to the poor. Hypothesis: SSGs often appear to be instrumental in rural poverty alleviations. Economic empowerment through SHGs provides women the confidence for participation in decision-making affairs at the household level as well as at the community level. Unutilized and underutilized resources of the community can be mobilized effectively under different SSGs initiatives. Leader and members of successful SSGs bear the potentiality to act as a resource person for different community developmental initiatives. Active involvement in different SSGs initiatives help members to grow leadership skills. Evidence also show that often women SSGs leaders are chosen as potential candidates for panchayat pradhans or representatives to Panchayati Raj institution. Limitations of SSGs. Members of a group do not come necessarily from the poorest families. Though there has been social empowerment of the poor, the economic gain to bring about a qualitative changes in their life has not been satisfactory. Many of the activities undertaken by the SSGs are still based on primitive skills related mostly to primary sector enterprises. There's a lack of qualified resources personnel in the rural areas who could help in skills upgradations or acquisitions of new skills by group members. Further institutional mechanism for capacity building and skill training have been lacking. Poor accounting practices and incidents of misappropriation of funds, lack of resources and means to market their goods. Tools. Chapter 4 Formation and Development of SSGs. According to R. Rao et al. 1999, a systematic and scientific approach in the formation of SSGs is of paramount importance to the long-term sustainability of these informal community-based organizations. It has been observed by Fernandes that SSGs formed and promoted for limited purposes of availing subsidy-laced bank loan, grants and other materialistic benefits generally disintegrates, while according to Srinivasan and Rao, the SSGs developed for genuine purpose of self-help in the wake of needs had much better chances of long-term sustainability. SSGs, like any other type of group, have distinct phases through which they pass over a period of time. According to Johnson and Johnson 1994, there have been well over 100 theories to describe the development stage of groups. Focus group and identify 4 distinct development stages, which is forming, storming, norming and performing. Forming stage, norming stage and performing stage. Chapter 5 Functioning of SSGs. The information to assess of credit resources, skills, and technology base of poor are very weak and the scales of their operation small. Their credit need arise due to growing family size and social obligations such as expense on marriage and death, medical treatment, and also due to market and climatic uncertainties. The need to expand or diversify operation places tremendous strain on the existing family income, which is hardly adequate to meet routine production and consumption requirements. In such emergencies, there are no credit institution to fall back upon, and hence they are forced to take credit supplied by bigger landlords, traders, and money lenders at a quite high rate of interest, withstanding the threat of losing their mean of production, indebtedness, and sometimes even bondness. The financial institutions have not entered this credit market in a big way due to certain reasons. Importantly, a poor person tends to be rather tentative, uncertain in his behavior, but group membership smoothens the rough edges of his behavior pattern, making him more reliable as a borrower. Chapter 6 Growth of SHGs in India. SSGs play today a major role in poverty alleviation in rural India. A growing number of poor people, mostly women in various parts of India, are members of SSGs and actively engage in saving and credit as well as in other activities. आप इनका स्क्रीनशॉट्स भी ले सकते हैं. SGSY scheme, Swaran Jayanti Gram Swarojgar Yojana, is a modified version of IRDP with a focus on group approach. Cost of group formation and development is met from SGSY funds amounting to 10,000 per group over a period of 3 to 4 years. Process approach and social mobilization with minimum of 50% of women groups are salient. SSG's approaches. Grading of groups is done once in 6 months to ascertain their status of performance and corrective capacity building in undertaken. Rashtriya Mahila Kosh Group. These are groups formed by NGOs and funded by RMK, a fund set up by the Government of India for associating women to undertake income generating activities. Credit is extended to individual women in the group mode from the time that the first SGs emerged in 1985 to the conclusion of the SSG strategy. In the annual plan for 2000 to 2001, several important steps were taken by the National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, the Reserve Bank of India, and leading NGOs, as well as by the multilateral agencies, particularly IFAD. 3. The SSG strategy is an important component of the government's overall thrust to mitigate poverty and has been included in every annual plan since 2000. Phase 1 from 1987 to 1992. Phase 2 from 1992 to onwards. Chapter 7 Spread of the SSG movement. There are thousands of promoting institutions involved. Government, bank, and NGOs are not just one or two institutions but with ambitions to grow. For example, in 2004 to 5, there were 573 banks, leading to SSGs through 41 323 bank branches. Many of them were also promoting SSGs. Further, there were 41323 NGOs and other agencies involved in training and mentoring of SSGs. This massive network of institutions supports the SSG movement, each entity in its own way. There has been much investment in the capacity building of SSGs. It comes from private NGO donors, multilateral agencies such as IFAD, and some bilateral agencies from NABARD, the Small Industries Development Bank of India, and the state governments. Microfinance program of CAPARD, the Council for Advancement of People's Action and Rural Technology. Seva Shakti project. This is a rural women's development and empowerment project encompassing 6 important states of Bihar, Gujarat, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh, with a central project support unit in the Department of Women and Child. Kudumba Shri project. This project is being implemented in Andhra Pradesh with the aid of World Bank. The project aimed to organize the poorest of the poor in selected districts through convergence of resources. The project has components of organization, capacity building, linkages and capital support. The project envisages common interest group to focus on accelerated progress in poverty alleviations. SGSRY Swarna Jayanti Shahari Rozgar Yojana. Urban Self-Employment Program USEP and Development of Women and Children in Urban Area DWCUA. The Integrated Rural Development Program. Impact of SHG movement in India. All the groups meet at least once in a month to discuss various social issues related to their day-to-day life. 98% of eligible members adopt small family norms. 100% children of SHG member are able to access immunization services against the 6 diseases. 30% of the members have access to safe cooking fuel under the government promoted scheme popularly known as DPAM. 80% of the total SSGs have accessed financial assistance from bank and repayment in 98%. 10,000 SHG members were elected to the social bodies in 1997 November elections. Members are engaged in 450 varieties of income generating activities. Additional family resources to member range from 1,000 to 3,000 per annum depending on the income generating activities. Increase in self-confidence and self-esteem. Performance of SSGs. Participation in meeting. As the group entered the performing stage, the attendance of the farmer was more than 70%. Acharya and Basu reported that attendance of monthly meeting of the Sangh was compulsory. Absentees were penalized by charging 10 rupees. Rule supported that only one SSG in the study had 100% attendance. In order, SSG attendance was about 50%. Kumaran in his study conducted in Andhra Pradesh on 21 SSG found that 19 were active group and 1 each was passive and dissolved group. Rao and Padmaja reported that there was 100% attendance of SSG meeting in Andhra Pradesh. Record maintenance, credit, savings and loans. Chapter 9 Problem faced by SSGs. Among the social problems of caste system in the group or village was opined as not severe by 92% of the member. About 56% of them felt conflicts among the group was a moderate problem. Among the economic problems, availability of loan in this time was opined as not severe by 48% of the members. Improper savings was found to be a moderate problem by 14% of the members. Chapter 10 Suggestions. The suggestion allocated from members of self-help groups for the improvement of SSGs is reported that the higher percent of SSG members suggested for improved marketing facilities, followed by reducing the rate of interest rate 86%, increase in loan amount percent suggested for provision of infrastructure facilities for selected activities. 47.33% suggested to increase the repayment period, 36% suggested for increasing the number of days of training, and 20% suggested that supervision by higher authority on SSG for effective functioning is required. Chapter 11 Discussion. Socio-economic condition and role of SSGs. Age, marital status, educational qualifications, family size, land holding, structure and functional characteristics of self-help groups, bank linkage of the self-help groups, bank linkages, cumulative loan availed by beneficiaries from bank and SSG, beneficiaries and bank self-help groups, opinion of beneficiaries about SSG, impact of SSG's income, employment, assessed positions, consumption, investment, savings. Chapter 12 Conclusion. Self-help groups is one such program which has been designed and implemented from April 2000 in various parts of the country to improve the living standard of the women with an objective of self-reliance and self-confidence, provide the great access and control over the resources. It is proposed to strengthen the institutional capacity to proactive towards needs of women. The self-help groups and its long-term objective is to strengthen the process that promote economic development of women and create an environment for social change to improve their quality of life. In such long-term specific objectives, the involvement of many support assisting agencies supported by World Bank, IFDA, etc. Chapter 13 Bibliography. Arun Kumar, TD, 2004, Profile of Self-Help Groups and Their Contribution for Livestock Development in Karnataka, MSc, Thesis, University of Agricultural Science, Dharwad. ओके, तो हमारे यहाँ प्रोजेक्ट ख़त्म होता है. इसको आपको प्रिंट आउट निकलवा कर साइन करवाना है, फिर उसे आपको सबमिट करना है. थैंक यू.